Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am Alex, your host, along with the angelic astrologer herself, Sandy Reevy.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
It is episode 123 on November 30th. Happy Monday, everybody. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we have Monday, November 30th, the lunar eclipse in Gemini.
Full moon at 8 degrees of Gemini.
And Mercury sextile Saturn.
What's next? Progress?
Then Tuesday, December 1st, Mercury ingresses Sagittarius.
Words get lost.
And Saturday, December 5th, Venus trine Neptune.
Make your own gifts.
Then in Talisman time, Sandy has finished up 3 to promote oneself, to gain profit through work collaborations, to step away, find solace, and create. Then a very special upcoming, to stand firm while moving forward. Then on the horizon, we have our orbit of the week, our new in-stock astrological planners, as well as our very important new global paradigm webinar and talisman making webinar. So stay tuned for those. And then in our house, Sandy and I are going to be discussing our Thanksgiving plans as well as our future plans for the rest of the year. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
Is totally clear and your heart is fierce, and so you finally know you control where you go.
Hello, angelic astrologer. I actually took that from a review.
Thank you.
I think the
who's
listeners
out
are
there.
really liking my names for you. So
They're helping you out. You should any new ones. Anybody can help us out. We'll even say the funnier ones because I think nothing is mean. I think there's facetiousness, which I think is witty and cute and funny. So if you can stay into the alliteration,
well,
it'll be mentioned.
Let's jump in here. So the going direct, I have the big title of it was angelic astrologer.
Mm-hmm.
And this name is hard for me to figure out, but B Najar 16 says, "Thank you both so much for all the enlightening information I tune into weekly. I have learned so much about myself and how I am woven into this cosmic fabric that makes up the blanket of all existence. Wow. You are both inspiring, motivating, and engaging. Thank you 1,000 times. Thank you."
Oh, goosebumps.
That's so nice.
What a beautiful... I got all of that in just a few sentences. I need to be more like that. Concise and romantic.
Well, thank you so much for sending in that review, that romantic review. But of course, if you listeners haven't sent in your reviews, I love them. I love multiples of them too. So even if you have sent in one, it is the Thanksgiving time. So this is a wonderful time to share the love, share the messages.
I'm actually waiting for Andrew. The other day he said, "Hey, I did a 5-star review." I'm like, "Oh, we didn't see it." He goes, "I gave you 5 stars." I'm like, "Well, what was the review?" "Oh, I didn't write anything." I'm like,
yes, write stuff. That's what I can read on the podcast.
But let's go over our Monday, Tuesday, Saturday. It's a bit of a light week, even though we started with the lunar eclipse, right? Which is the full moon. And then we go, what's next? Progress, words get lost, and make your own gifts. It's a lot of disjointedness, it feels like, this first week, which is why the orbit of the week
is
this week.
I understand.
In other words, a lot of different pathways need to be kind of opened up for understanding, for clarity. We'll know that, Tuesday, the Mercury moves into his detriment, into Sagittarius. So we'll talk more about that when we get to that part of the week, but it's to really grasp the whole picture without having all the details. So just to say, I understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, so moving into the transits, Monday, November 30th, that's today if you're listening on time, the lunar eclipse in Gemini.
Right. It's at 8 degrees of Gemini. And it's really interesting because it's sitting right on my nodes. But it's not an easy one. And I mean, this is a lunar eclipse. It's the solar eclipses that will happen in 2 weeks that are the stronger ones, where the moon crosses in front of the sun, right? So it's the emotion closes temporarily the ego. But this is a penumbral, which is where, and because it's a full moon, the earth is in between the sun, pushing the sun's rays onto the moon like a full moon. But because we're in this penumbral eclipse, the earth is in between. And it'll just be a shadow effect.
And like a shade.
A shade is probably a good or better reason. It just has a filter. A gooder. It'll be more red.
Because basically what's happening is like that light is kind of bending over the edge of the earth. And it's just it's not a sharp edge that we're going to see on the moon. It's going to be a shaded shadow where we're not seeing the direct sunlight on the moon. There is a casted shadow. And so do you want to talk more about that eclipse?
Well, thanks to Nina Griffin, who I follow and I'm in class with. She mentioned it's a 4-hour and 21-minute duration, which astrologers know that whatever the duration is, and we can get that from NASA, you're going to tweak that into months. So that's about 4 months and 21 days that will have its effect. Now, it does hit the Americas, both North and South, and Australia. So, and it is at, what time does this happen? It's like 3:30 in the morning here in Chicago. Now, if we wake up, and I am planning on waking up, I'm not going to do a talisman here. I don't do talisman during full moon eclipses. But this one's on my nodes, so I am going to be present for that. So 3:30 in the morning, you can get up and
with you
and look at it. I might even see if it's not too cold. I can get my telescope out there.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Because it's going to be near. Well, if we got Mars, which is the red planet, in Aries, and it's at 3:30. I got to check. I'll check before the end of this recording. And this full moon is in Gemini, so you'll be able to see in the sky
them both
together, and you'll be able to compare and contrast the red planet with the red moon, reddish full moon. So it's going to be a really cool photograph. If I can get my telescope, if it's not freezing cold. Although it isn't 0 yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So also Monday, November 30th, Mercury sextiles Saturn.
What's next? Progress?
We hope.
Wouldn't you say? And if you haven't seen it in the world, the country, or your community, look around your home. Do you see any progress being made so that you can get to the next thing? It's a great time to correct what needs to be changed and to be proud of what you have changed. So, it's an easy aspect. This happens at 1:01 p.m. on Monday, just after that lunar eclipse.
So it'll be a really nice feeling on that Monday. Just kind of like, I'm ready. Let's go. Right. And Tuesday, December 1st, Mercury ingresses Sagittarius.
words get jarbled, jumbled, mumbled, tumbled.
Lost. Mm-hmm.
Lost. Okay. I was hoping you would just add some words. Well, whatever words anyone can add here that rhyme with that. The planet of communication moves into his detriment and feels lost. Unable to be sharp as he wants to be because that's his nature. So pay attention to your beliefs, especially those that are of religious or spiritual nature, because that maybe those are the subjects that seem to be overloaded. Mm-hmm. So clarifying. Now, this lasts for 3 weeks. And so this is Mercury wanting to see the big picture when Mercury needs the detail.
Right. And so some good tactics would be just be very cautious on communicating about those big ideas, keeping in mind those details as well.
Well, and remember, this is mundane astrology, so it's for everyone. Mm-hmm. But, it could give any of the Mercury ruled sun or moon or ascendants, which are the Virgo or the Gemini, to get out of the detail, get out of the programmed organization, the A, the B, the C, the D, in order to get a glimpse of the finished product, to come back into, then how do I get that big thing done? Right? Because we have to start in step 1.
Small. Yes.
Step 2. But if you're speaking too fast, too large, you could get lost in that jumble.
And Saturday, December 5th, Venus trine Neptune. And this is one of your favorite days, I think.
No, well, it is a favorite day, but it's not my favorite day of the month.
Okay.
Is make your own gifts. And maybe that's why you think it's a very creative, imaginative period. This is at 10:53 p.m. And it's really art at its finest. This is Venus in Scorpio. Now, remember, Venus in Scorpio is in detriment. She rules the other sign, Taurus, of which Scorpio and Taurus are opposites.
Right.
So here she's, debilitated, but she's trining the Neptune, which is in his own sign of Pisces. So, be inspired by practicing on what or that thing that you love to do. Like, practice it. Is it knitting? Is it painting? Is there some sort of craft that you've been wanting to pick up? Mm-hmm. Is it writing? Is it singing? Is it, playing guitar?
And just to fall deeply, madly, intensely in love with that moment.
So for me, it's coloring, right? So maybe I need a new book by then. So maybe I'll order a really harder coloring book.
Okay.
With a lot of little tiny lines.
Okay. And so let's move into talisman times. You have finished up 3 talismans. Let's discuss the first one. That was Monday, November 23rd, to promote oneself.
I easily persuade others to see and understand that what I have to offer benefits them as well as myself. So to promote oneself is hard to do. Mm-hmm. But when you can promote yourself through helping others, where this is the moon in a sextile to Jupiter. Jupiter is the ruler of the ascendant and the ruler of the moon at this particular time, with the sun in Sag, which is also ruler of the sun. So very, very Jupiterian placement here. So, hey, I can persuade you so that you can see and understand that what I have to offer benefits you and me. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't we want to do this together? But you have to promote yourself. You have to, expand on these thoughts and ideas and opinions.
And we discussed that one last week. Mm-hmm. And what I really love about that one is that it's it's coming from a very genuine place. And we kind of talked about the salesperson is this, this person who's very confident, who knows what they're talking about, who is willing to be there in service for others. And I just feel like that's a really wonderful place to come from, especially when you're promoting yourself. And it's not always easy. And we know that being, humble humans, sometimes that can be really hard talking about yourself. Like I have an extremely talented friend who, we met actually from her being an intern of ours. She's so creative, so talented. And she always tells me that I'm her hype girl, that I'm the one always promoting her because it's very hard for her to promote herself. So I think that's a great talisman, So let's move on. Saturday, November 28th, you have 2 talismans this day to gain profit through work collaborations.
Our work together profits very favorably for us, and I am proud of us. So it's Sun in Sagittarius coming up over the horizon with Moon exalted in Taurus. But what I really like about this timing, this was, 6:57 a.m., that Jupiter is in the second house of money. So this is a grand trine with the Moon to the midheaven to the Jupiter, all in these cardinal signs, with Sagittarius coming up over the horizon, with the Sun and Jupiter being the ruler of this, in this grand trine that says, my career and my work with others, so collaborative work, supports us both in profitable favor.
Yeah. And last week, again, we talked about how important it is to pick the right people for your collaborations. You really have to believe in what they do and how you both work together. And if your clientele or your followers, one, would be interested, and two, that you're going to be really working with someone in some thing that you're proud of.
And actually, I have been in business for over 30 years. My former company that I started in the basement with Michael Jordan, right? We all know that she bead, he bead story. And my intention beads business that I started with you. I have had many collaborations between these 30 years, and some have fallen flat on my face. But the question I should have asked myself after that first red flag, is this the way I want to operate?
Right. As opposed to like everyone's telling you, and every other like business advisor and everything is saying this is the way to go. Sometimes,
or when you said, hey, let's take a look at that. I think this is a really good idea. What do you think? And they're like, yeah. And they jump on, and you haven't put the parameters in place.
The borders.
And you start moving forward, and then you start to get that bad taste in your mouth, and you go, damn, I already started. I think I need to finish. But to use this kind of, intelligence, I want to call it artificial intelligence, but it's intuition. It's intuition intelligence, emotional, good way. That when you get that, sick feeling, that third sense, and go, oh, either put boundaries on this right now, have a discussion and negotiate, or end it. Because I've had wonderful collaborations with others.
Right.
But I knew the
More
ones...
so.
Right. I knew the ones that were like, this was not my vision.
Right. And so that same day, this one is great because it starts with to step away is basically what we're talking about. But to step away, find solace and create.
I separate myself from busy. I focus on what I need at this time. Maybe it's to study or to write without interruption. It all enters and is delivered.
Yeah. That last part is just so wonderful because it is this huge sense of trust, of just quieting yourself, opening yourself, and those words, those ideas, those things that you're looking for will be provided and they will enter in. And it's not this, I'm scared and I'm lacking and I need to hurry up and make action in order for things to happen. I like that trusting sense of knowing that it's going to come when it's the right time.
And to be honest, this is the last time, in, let's just say 6, 12, 8 years, that the moon in Taurus, where moon is exalted, is able to trine Jupiter. So, because the Jupiter's in a Earth sign, in a trine to the moon in Taurus, which is an Earth sign. Mm-hmm. And so we want to find the moon in Taurus. That's just a really good Talisman 101, right, class, when the planets are in exaltation or in their domicile. So this trine is the last time we're going to be, I can't get it next month, because when the moon goes into Taurus next month, Jupiter's going to be squaring it. I'll still grab that, but the trine, which is of easier intent, we won't get this until Jupiter moves into Virgo, and that is a good 6, 7, maybe 8 years away.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So that one is a definite one-of-a-kind talisman.
Well, they all are, but that one particular, the timing, I won't be able to get again for 8 years.
And so the upcoming talisman that you'll be working on is Saturday, December 5th, to stand firm while moving forward.
What?
I know, right? It sounds a little...
However, listen to the affirmation. I am sure-footed with each step toward my goal. This creates ease along my way. Hurry as I go.
Yeah.
So I'm sure-footed. I make a step, feel solid. Take another step, feel solid. So it's not like running.
Right.
But it's
a steady pace.
Yeah, but it's constantly moving. And I use the word hurry. I may not mean rush.
Yeah.
But continual movement.
And I think consistency is so key here. And, especially when you're a leader at something, whether you have employees or followers or, a family, it is so important to have that firmness, have the confidence and the pride of this is my next step and I'm sure of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful. This was at 3:44 in the morning. We have the sun in Sagittarius again, the moon, and this is making a grand trine with the Mars. I haven't used Mars in the Aries placement for any Mars talismans. But finally Mars is moving forward and it's starting to pick up speed, and the moon makes a grand trine on the midheaven. Mm-hmm. So I like this for moving forward.
So let's move in and on to the horizon. So first off, we have a new orbit of the week, and that is I understand. We talked a little bit about this in the top of the episode, but this week is really important for us to have a grounded sense of a knowingness, an idea of I understand. And even if there's chaos and all of that, I understand that it's chaotic right now.
And if that's what I understand because I don't understand, I understand I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And that can lead to the clarifying questions.
And a feeling of comfort that as long as we can understand and kind of have that awareness of what is going on around us, it is important to at least just acknowledge that.
Right?
That there's not something wrong going on and we're not doing the wrong thing. That we're just, this is just how it is. Life is a roller coaster and it's never going to be exactly the same. So if you are interested in getting the orbit of the week, head over to intentionbeads.com/orbit of the week.
And orbits are $29.95. This is discounted by $5 because I want to be able to pay the shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't a way to do it on the website. And I just have a FYI, our Black Friday sale that was last week. These were not on the sale. So don't think you missed out on any discount on the orbit of the week. They were not on the sale.
Yep. And there also have been some people using the orbit of the week, promo. It's actually automatic. So when you head over and you add the orbit of the week to your shopping cart, it'll automatically give you that $5 discount for the shipping. So it's great. And you don't have to remember any codes.
I've been wearing it, and just to say I understand just gives me that calmness of, because I've been studying a lot, right? And I got lots of homework. I got a big day today. That I understand it. Let me put it in proper language so it makes sense when I deliver my answer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So also,
it makes me feel smarter.
That's a great thing. Because really, I mean, that we are smart human beings. So now back in stock. So really now in stock for the first time is the 2021 astrological planners. These are like a 4x6 little mini book, and I have it right here in my hands right now, that gives you a ton of information. So this is a great way, one, you can use it as a planner, but we're mainly, recommending that you're using this as your astrological planner. So if you're having readings with Sandy and she gives you the, this is going to be a great day, jot that down in this planner. And if you're also listening to Sandy and Susan's Facebook Lives, where they're talking about the forecasted dates for the month, this planner is a wonderful tool for you to use, because you don't have to go and listen back to the entire 1 hour length of the video. You have it written down. Today is, Susan Goodell's favorite day for investments or whatever. So
because all the dates are in there and all the glyphs are in there.
And
so when we say Mercury, trine, Uranus, it's written in there.
Right. And
so it's helping you as a guideline to understand the glyphs.
Right.
So I understand.
Yes.
Really, there's so many ways you can use the orbit. I understand.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's just
there's
I'm
even
thinking
like a
about
symbol
this.
key. There's a time zone key, void of course dates. I mean, it's a ton of information. It's great.
I'm finding I'm falling in love more and more with I understand. That's a great response. We see, oh, I see. Oh, I get it. But when you can say, oh, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you see, I mean, what's the word mean anyway? Understand. You're under the stands?
I don't know. I don't know if we can look at it that way, but if we do, it's like, it's a standing under something. So I think it's a very humble position. You're not overstanding. You're understanding. You're kind of humble in your acknowledgement and connection to what someone else is feeling or someone else is thinking, their ideas. or maybe some lessons.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. Anyway, I really like that.
You like that word and you like that affirmation.
Yeah. This means I realize that. I understand that. I know that. Mm-hmm. I like it. Okay.
Well, so if you want to get your astrological planners, they are on the website. Head over to intentionbeads.com. I also have the link in the description. It's it's $10. It's a great way to really stay on top of all of these astrological dates that we're also giving you here on the podcast.
I keep one in my purse. Well, that's when I went places. When I traveled, I could always let me see what next Friday in March is. And I would pull that open. Can I make one little caveat?
Sure.
Here. If anyone is listening that is on the subscription reading plan with me, which if I talk to you monthly, if I talk to you quarterly, for the upcoming 2021 year, you don't need to buy one of these unless you want to. Mm-hmm. Because can we say, put a little thing out here for my subscriptions?
Right. Absolutely.
Alex has put together a really cool offer.
We're putting together a $90 gift bag, and this gift bag is going to be sent to the current subscribers that are on your membership. Mm-hmm. That's, of course, either quarterly or monthly. And if any of you listeners are interested in joining the subscription, you can choose either monthly or quarterly, and you get your reading with Sandy that month or that quarter. You continue for a year, and then anytime after that year, you can choose to continue on. You're locked in with that price, which is really nice because so far your reading price, Mom, has only been really trending upwards. So yeah, we have people who have been on the subscription since 2016.
That's only 4 years. No, when I was still over at the other
maybe
store.
2015.
14, 15.
But they're locked in at those prices that you were at before, which is wonderful. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's really wonderful. So this is a great time, and of course, if you haven't had regular astrology readings, they're wonderful. It's an incredible way to really have a checkpoint where, this month I'm talking to Sandy. We're going to talk about all of the dates and the transits and what happened and take a look at what's ahead so I can prepare myself. Mm-hmm.
And there's also not only the $90 gift bag that comes into your home, it's a discount. Right? There's a discount by signing up for a year. And I want to make it clear that it's because some people have asked me, they're interested, because I'll do a reading every so often for them. But their credit card doesn't get hit for the year's investment. It just gets hit, whether you're monthly, it gets hit every month for that portion, or quarterly every 3 months for that portion. And then you're given an email with a code. You go onto my scheduler, put the code in, and you don't need to pay again. You just book your session.
Right. It's such an easy way that you don't necessarily have to always be thinking, oh, I have to schedule my reading now.
You're reminded to set up your account. And
you get a discount. So not only do you lock yourself in at that specific price, you do get a discount off the current retail price. So let's see. December 9th, we have our CWS webinar. This is the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. It is the new global paradigm. And if you haven't heard Sandy and Susan discuss this yet, they say it is the all-time biggest transit that's happening in our lifetime. This is what all of the astrologers are talking about. And if you want to learn, what part it is that you're going to be playing in this big new paradigm shift, click on that link in the description and join us for the webinar. This is going to be a great way for you to also personalize it with that $5 chart or a reading after the webinar. So also, you're not going to want to miss the talisman making version of this, which is happening a week and a half later. This is the December 19th and 20th talisman making webinar. This is going to be just with Sandy, and it's going to be a much longer, a 2-hour event, I believe.
2.5 hour slide presentation. I'll do everybody's chart in advance. You'll get it in your email box. There'll be slides. I'll be making a bead. We are making a finished product that you get in the mail because it has to be a talisman. And I've picked two times. It's a either or. Mm-hmm. Unless you want to do, can I say kind of what it
Both?
is? Unless you want to do the necklace on one day. I never thought of that till now. Necklace on one day and the bracelet version on the second day.
We really love the design. I think you all will love the design as well. It will be a design that is going to be around for a while because you can add more and more talisman beads to the necklace and the bracelet. So we're so super excited to unveil this.
And let me just break down the year. In January, beginning, we were in our Mexico retreat where we called it Building New Roots. Mm-hmm. Early January, we had the whole kind of destructive, falling apart, let's just say, right? The restrictions, the global restrictions, mm-hmm. the disease. And we've been dealing with that all year. And at the end of this year, which is this Jupiter, Saturn moving into Aquarius, into a new air economy paradigm, it's just the bookends of this year. And so there's this incredible new shift that we will never, in what Susan and I believe and other astrologers, in our lifetime that we happen to be alive is because of this thing that is happening this mid-December. Mm-hmm. And so to have a talisman of rebuild, this is the rebuild of what was destroyed for purposes we may know now or we don't know now. Again, I understand. And we move into this next paradigm of air. And I'll talk more about that. Again, that's at CWS, but my talisman ceremony, you will have a finished product, a talisman associated with your affirmation.
Mm-hmm. So let's move on to our house where we get to talk about our Thanksgiving, our wonderful Thanksgiving that we had with a much smaller group than we are normally used to because of
COVID.
course the current situations and also, historically you love to have a bursting at the seams full table of family and friends and it's fun and it's energetic with that many mm-hmm. people. And this year was much calmer, much very low key. And we'll keep it short, and I hope that all of you had a great Thanksgiving and enjoyed the rest and relaxation that this year had provided to us all. But so let's also talk about a few of the things that we have coming up. And those are some really new products. Mm-hmm. So which one do you want to start with?
Let's go with, there's so many. Let's go with the thank you gift package.
Okay.
Which we just kind of mentioned, but
we
that's a
did
good
mention
start.
it a little bit earlier, but I'll explain everything that's going in there. You are going to personally select an orbit for them. Mm-hmm. They are going to get the 2021 Astrological Pocket Planner. And they're going to get a free 30-minute astrology reading to gift to someone this holiday season.
That is.
So I think that's a pretty cool.
It's a nice little gift package to say thank you for working with me for this past year. And anyone that signs up in this rest of this month, December, the rest of this year, get this gift package for the, it signs up for 2021. And they also get this 2020's prices.
Correct. They do. Before they start increasing at the beginning of the year. So this definitely is your time to jump in if you're, contemplating on coming on board for a astrology reading subscription. We would love to have you. We do limit these because, there's only so much time in your schedule, Sandy, to, have everyone in. And have, a little bit of availability for one-on-one reading or like one-off readings. So next we have.
And can I just talk about, I do quarterlies, which is 1 hour or an hour and a half, because really an hour, it's a lot of information to talk about 3 months in an hour, but it can be done.
Which ones the
1.5 hour, I've got some people on the 1.5 hour every quarter. That gives us more of a breath to have more engagement and discussion. But the hour does work. We have to really nail some things down and stay within that boundary. My favorite is monthly, the half-hour monthly. Okay. Because, I have hour monthlies. I don't think we need an hour and a half monthly. But the half-hour monthlies give enough space to kind of do a review or overall arch of some of the longer term aspects that are still in play, or ones that just finished up, or ones that are beginning. And some of these might last a year and a half.
Right. And so
these transits. But then we get into the monthlies of, okay, in this next month you are about to embark on, here are the dates you need to pay attention to. Here are the themes that are in action. And this is what you need to pay attention to at this time.
Right.
Yeah.
And so with your monthly clients, who would you recommend signing up for monthlies versus the quarterlies?
Well, monthlies, anyone that's working on something that needs, weekly, monthly focus.
Okay.
And then the quarterlies, anyone that's kind of going through a year. I mean, I talk with you 4 times an hour each. This is every quarter.
And that's like a baseline, right?
And that's just kind of flowing through the year of, doing your own thing, finding the ebbs and flows of that whole year period. But the monthlies are if you're going through a hardship and you really need
pinpointed focus
and really kind of coaching guidance of some sort. I've heard, oh my gosh, thank goodness I'm with you for a monthly, because every month when the moon moves into Aries and it hits something in my chart, her particular chart, she gets really angst. And she always books her time period during that, because I can help her come down off the ledge, so to speak. Okay. And that she can be more focused and use that energy more constructive than destructive.
Right. And
so just there's all kinds of ways. Somebody that's losing someone, someone that has a ill parent, just support, saying, hey, you're in this for a purpose, and here's what I can guide you through for this period.
Yes. Well, thank you. And I know that the emails that I receive from all of your current clients, they're so happy, so excited that they get to have this type of, forecast and this knowledge. And this inner knowledge too,
and they're understanding their astrology in action. Yeah.
So some of the other products that we have on the horizon, one I'm especially excited about because if you've ever seen or met me, I always have my rings on. Mm-hmm. I have, every time we go to a new country or we're visiting somewhere, I usually acquire.
Right to the
ring
department.
Yeah. I do. And I pretty much have a story of each and every ring that I have. Mm-hmm. So, and I love that.
And you wear about 12 at a time.
I wouldn't say 12, but because I only have 10 fingers.
But you wear some like half.
The midi rings, I wear those too. But
okay.
I would say I wear at least 5 rings a day.
I wear 0. I don't like wearing rings.
I love wearing rings. So, of course, this is my contribution to the product line. We are going to be unveiling an eclipse ring. It's beautiful. It's sterling silver. I think it's like a beautiful, clean, minimalistic look. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have it in sizes 7, 8, and 9.
I think just 7 and 8.
Okay, 7 and 8. So if you have a finger that is 7 or 8 size, have those ears perk up right now because that should be unveiling by the end of the year.
Well, we were going to unveil it kind of on Eclipse Day, which is this December 14th, although I think we should push it out prior to that so that people can have it and wear it on the eclipse.
That would be awesome.
Okay, can you get that working?
We are going to get that working for you all. What other things are we going to be adding?
Well, this talisman ceremony, this is a necklace, bracelet, doesn't have to be a set, because in the order form, in the description, when we get it out there, you can choose the necklace or the bracelet. But it is an add a talisman.
Right.
Has like you mentioned, a connotation of adding to this particular necklace throughout the years of me making talismans and you coming in to be part of that ceremony. But it's a brand new kind of look. It almost reminds me of some she beads things in my former company but still never done anything like this. So those pictures are coming out soon. You'll see that. But definitely this is taking a step into the whole reason you're here in this lifetime, to be available for this Jupiter, Saturn, into the new paradigm of air age.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited for this. So the reason why it's been taking so long is that we're really, fine-tuning all of the things about this, since we do hand make all of our jewelry, and we're so excited to unveil.
And we also had the Black Friday event, which was really big for us. That's kind of a new thing. And that just finished. Thank you, everybody worldwide.
Yes.
We extended the hours a little bit, which really helped for those international customers. Mm-hmm. And we thank you. We're preparing all of that. They should be out. Really, they should be out by
Monday.
Today, Monday. But they're on their way to you. And if you've got one of the few intention bracelets that are ready for activation, you'll get the instructions inside the package to set up your call for your activation that I do over the phone. Mm-hmm. So that was exciting. Black Friday was exciting. Then we've got the eclipse ring coming. We've got the talisman ceremony necklace bracelet coming. And what else? There just seems to be. Oh, we're doing some she bead stuff.
Yes. And men's stuff.
And he beads. Mm-hmm. So, hey, you he beads. In fact, we have gotten so many Michael Jordan orders recently of either new clients, male clients that are wearing the Michael Jordan bracelet, or former clients that are saying, do you do it? No, come on. Sandy, let's get some new colors out there.
Yeah, we do need to get some new colors.
And so I've been working on those.
Yeah.
And so I'll probably offer about 6 to 7 different new he bead styles. Well, it'll be the same style, small bead,
Right.
but it will also be different color combinations. And so you can get the whole stack.
Yeah, and they look great so far. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then I know we're doing a Blackhawks sale.
Yes, we should be doing a Blackhawks
for she
sale.
beads and some other little things on the she beads, which is my former company. But I never sold it. We never closed it. Well, we closed the brick and mortar store.
Right.
But we never, I didn't know that when I started Intention Beads and closed the she beads brick and mortar store, that I didn't see the future of she beads or he beads, but I knew it wasn't over. It was such a good love story between me and my business that it was going to flow in a different stream once that pool got, heavy again. And so we're going to kind of open that up to maybe a 12 days of Christmas or something.
Right. So if you are not already on the She Beads mailing list, make sure to email me, alex@intentionbeads.com, and I'll go ahead and, give me a little note that you wanted to be added to the She Beads mailing list for these announcements, because those are going to be 2 separate mailing lists. So,
yeah. Well, as your marketing guru and your cum laude, business
my
school,
accolades.
that, you really do stay to marketing. If you've signed up for one company's emails,
Right.
we do not cross breed brands. We do not cross.
Cross post marketing. But sometimes I will. Sometimes when I really feel like people would be interested. And one of the reasons why you're not supposed to do that is because if a client or someone who's subscribed, a subscriber, is so used to getting intention beads emails, and you go ahead and you throw she beads, I'm sure people could make the connection, but sometimes people can flag that as, I don't know what company this is, and they're not supposed to be sending me things. So it's
and then intention beads gets flagged.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's mainly, it's for both sides, basically. Is like, someone agreed to receive the communication that they want, and that's what you're entrusted to do, is provide that information, that consistent information. So yes.
So let's just add one little thing. Sorry if you thought you got too many Black Friday emails. We rarely do bombardment of
but that was
emails.
That was my goal this year, because I know that, I've been on the receiving end of those
so
emails.
Many.
And really it's not totally invasive, because it's actually helpful, because when I'm going about my day, I'm not constantly on my email. I'm not constantly looking, how many more hours do I have left? That is not in the forefront of my mind. So what I was doing, it was intentional, just to keep everyone up to date on how many more hours we had, and reminders.
And it worked.
And it totally worked.
It's like, and then we would see, a huge surge in people on the website, more orders coming in. So it's a good reminder, but for those that felt that they got bombarded, we're sorry. It doesn't happen very often.
Nope. So, of course, thank you again for listening. This was episode 123. So, with that 123, we say bye-bye, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye. I understand.
And the search ends here, where the night is totally clear, and your heart is free.